So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I want to dive into today includes big PlayStation Plus news, Sony confirming the leaks of the recent breach situation, and is Factions 2 dead, which is heartbreaking for me to even discuss, but also frustrating at the same time. We're gonna talk about that. First, yes or no, do you use Netflix or not? As we know, Netflix is the biggest streaming platform in the world, and we're going to talk about another streaming service today, but before that, I'm curious how many of you are Netflix subscribers, so comment below yes or no if you're a Netflix subscriber or not. Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, the big PlayStation Plus news. Reading from IGN, to better incentivize PlayStation owners into subscribing to PlayStation Plus, Sony announced today that certain subscription holders get access to a curated catalog of ad-free movies they can watch on their PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. In a new PlayStation blog post, Sony announced that the new feature is a part of a rebranding for its movie service Bravia Core, which will be renamed Sony Pictures Core. If you're unfamiliar with Bravia Core, it's a movie service Sony launched in early 2021 that was limited in availability as it was only available on Bravia TVs and certain Xperia devices. PlayStation Plus Premium and Deluxe members will also gain access to a catalog of up to 100 movies through the Sony Pictures Core app as one of their new membership perks. All the movies available to these members are streamed ad-free, and the catalog of movies will be updated periodically. Some films subscribers will have access to includes Resident Evil Damnation, Elysium, Kingsguard, Final Fantasy 15. Sony also pledged to expand on the offerings and perks that come with Sony Pictures Core, noting a selection of anime content from Crunchyroll as well. So I think it's great that Sony's expanding the value of PlayStation Plus Premium. I think they've realized that people are getting fed up with the lack of content for the Classics catalog and are trying to increase its value in other ways. Honestly, for me, I checked out the collection of movies and they're great movies, but they're pretty old, which makes me wonder what Crunchyroll content they're going to put out there for PlayStation Plus Premium subscribers to have access to. If it's much older content as well, I'm not sure if I'm going to be interested as much. Sony, you guys need to supply more classic titles, which is why most of us cared about PlayStation Plus Premium at all. And for the movies side of things, give us new content as well. I love watching anime as well. Just don't give people access to Dragon Ball Z when we want to watch the latest season of My Hero or Attack on Titan. But let's see how this goes. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony confirmed the leaks. Reading from Video Game Chronicle, Sony Interactive Entertainment has confirmed that around 6,800 current and former employees have had their personal information exposed. As reported by Bleeping Computer, the PlayStation maker has been contacting those affected and letting them know what happened. According to Sony, the breach involved the Move It file transfer platform used by Sony Interactive Entertainment employees, which is developed by third-party IT vendor Progress Software. Progress announced on May 31st that it had discovered a vulnerability in Move It, but 3 days before this, an unauthorized actor had already used the vulnerability to download Sony Interactive Entertainment files, accessing personal information for 6,791 current and former SIE employees based in the United States. Sony claims the incident was limited to this particular software platform and had no impact on its other systems. Sony is providing those affected with free credit monitoring and identity restoration services and asking them to keep an eye out for signs of identity theft or fraud. The data was reportedly accessed by CLOP, a ransomware group that announced in late June that it had accessed Sony employee information. So this situation is not the one that happened not too long ago from Ransom VC, which made the rounds on the internet, how they said they had access access to all of Sony's systems. This is another hack that happened in May earlier this year. Sony can't really control how good third-party vendors are, but they can control who they use. So hopefully in the future they choose correctly and go with a vendor that is prompt with their patches to make sure vulnerabilities are handled right away. As for the ransom VC situation, according to Kotaku, these guys had access to a single server in Japan that's not related to Sony's gaming, music, or movie divisions that Sony took offline to investigate, and Sony said this: there's currently no indication that customer or business partner data was stored on the affected server or that any other Sony systems were affected. There has been no adverse impact on Sony's operations. So there you go. I remember people comparing this to the 2011 hack, and when we discussed this on the channel last time, I said these two are not even close in terms of what's happening. The scale is just way different from the 2011 hack to this ransom VC situation. This situation sounded like someone had a developer's login information and accessed some files, which it looks like that's probably what the situation was from what I'm reading here, and that's really that. Let's see if Sony informs us of anything else on the matter, but you guys let me know if you were gaming back in 2011 or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And now diving into the final story of the video, Factions 2 is dead, or that's what a new rumor claims. Talking about Factions 2 lately has been depressing, honestly. Anytime I see it mentioned on the news now, it's just me getting ready for what is probably more not so great news, and we kind of go again. This is a two-parter. So the first part is recently we heard about the principal monetization designer leaving Naughty Dog. I saw this make its way around the internet, but didn't really talk about it because it falls in line with what I was hoping is the issue Bungie had with Factions 2, which is the monetization and content management layers. Stuff they can change and it won't take years for that change. And that's what that looked to be, which was a positive sign to me. They let go of the monetization guy because Bungie didn't like how he did it, so they need to get someone else on that. That's the first part, and there could be some copium in that, but I've been pretty straightforward when it comes to Factions 2. Even when people were saying have patience, I said, hey, now they haven't shown us anything but concepts for years. Something is going on here. That was me saying this, so I've been pretty straightforward with Factions 2 because I just want to play the game. I just want to know what's going on. Now, on to part 2. Recently, movie leaker viewer Anon replied to a user who quoted fellow X and YouTube creators post Dom the Bomb, who was talking about the principal monetization designer leaving Naughty Dog, and viewer Anon replied to this saying, "It's dead, Jim." Viewer Anon is the same person that supposedly leaked that Last of Us Part 3 mocap is beginning later this year. We haven't really seen that confirmed yet, so that's a rumor from him. Another one. When I read this yesterday, it was just a mix of depression, frustration, and disappointment, honestly. Now, he could just be messing around and going along with what's already been said about the game being on ice, which is what I'm hoping is the situation, because I haven't seen him actually say, my sources told me this, or anything like that. I haven't seen him say that. If anyone at Naughty Dog is watching, you're probably not, but if there is anyone closely related, do not cancel this game. It would be complete disrespect to the fan base that you told to wait over 4 years, and some like myself who have been waiting since The Last of Us 2 was announced. We've been waiting for a long time, more than anyone should be waiting for, an online multiplayer game. We didn't want this crazy, huge games as a service title. We just wanted another PvP 4v4 game mode with The Last of Us 2 gameplay and some new maps. If you want to salvage the situation, because we know you guys have put a lot of work into this, just hold off on the supposed escape from Tarkov like mode and add the PvP mode to the PlayStation 5 version of The Last of Us 2 that we know you guys will most likely release. You can then just actually call that the complete edition of Last of Us 2, since it actually includes the multiplayer we expected back in 2020. Please say something in regards to Factions 2. Stop the silence, because these reports seemingly just keep popping up. But you guys let me know if you think Naughty Dog needs to speak up on what they're doing or not. Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps. And subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with "The weekend is here." The weekend's here. I got a lot of stuff to do this weekend, but I'm also going to take some time to play some more, Halloween type vibe games. If you are as well, destroy the comment section with "The weekend is here," and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.
Doors down.